G'day and welcome to Mark and Sam After Work. Today I want to do a video preempting lots of comments I'm about to get. That's about the new cartridge. Right now it's the 7mm PRC, but really you could, inverted comments, insert any new cartridge here. And these are my general thoughts on the situation of the new cartridge. And that is that the new cartridge is almost certainly a decent concept and a decent idea and will fill a niche for a moderate amount of people. It's going to be a good cartridge in some fashion or other. But it is also driven by a corporate world, a marketing world that wants to try and sell you a new rifle, new ammunition, get you to start spending more money on a new thing with them once every year is probably the ideal goal. And listen, that is the market, that is the corporate world, there are organisations that, yes, deliberately do that. That's part of their plan, that's part of their strategy. That might work for you. That doesn't mean that's bad, not particularly a bit I'm a fan of in this world, but that still might fill a niche, it might fill both needs for you. You want the new one and it fits a need for you. But there are some details to go with it. Part of that marketing plan has said that this is the new best of, it's a smart new design, it's all wonderful, it creates things we've never seen before, it's just absolutely wonderful in what it can do with this size cartridge or this size round travelling at this speed with this efficiency and all these wonderful features. The simple truth of it is, no, that's not quite true. Yes, it probably is a reasonably smart design. Looks at the PRC, its shoulder angles, its case size, it's simply actually a 300 PRC that's pulled back a little bit in size and neck down to 7mm. Otherwise it's pretty much the same thing. It's the 375 Ruger, I think it is. So it is not a rebated rim, it's a straight wall rim, or straight rim same size as the base. And then it tapers up, tapers a little more down when it goes a little bit longer, going to the 300. With the 7mm, it is just like shoulders are pulled back a little bit and it comes down to a 7mm. But otherwise all the ingredients are about the same. And the ingredients come from something that works pretty well. Its shoulder shape is made to feed reasonably well. It's made to actually not cause too much extra throat erosion with the size of the rim, or with the length of the neck and the angle of the shoulders. But not too much different to things that have been around for 100 years too. So all that sort of stuff is pretty normal. Probably the bigger feature you'll find with pretty much all of the new cartridges is that in their SAMI spec chambering, they'll be throated forward a little bit further, so they can run a heavier bullet or a longer bullet and push it out a little bit further to give you a little better use of your cartridge in the way of the capacity side of things, and to push your heavier bullets out a little bit further. To me, that's not a groundbreaking thing. You can do that with with the cartridges from 100 years ago as well. You simply push that rifling forward. But as an off-the-shelf thing, as a SAMI thing, yes, that works. Keep in mind, but there's a lot of what you think is different than what it is. SAMI is only a guide as to what to do. You buy something like a Remington 700 in a 300 Win Mag, in the long range, you'll find that that is throated a long way forward also, well past the SAMI spec. So these are things that are actually hidden elsewhere, just not marketed the same way as they are nowadays. The big feature, I would say, to go with the likes of, and it's a little bit whether it wins or it loses in this world, with the likes of the 300 PRC or any of the new, and that's including from the 6.5 Creedmoor to the 6mm Creedmoor, the 6.5 PRC to the 300 PRC to the 6.8 Western and all the rest of them. They're all, like I said, designed as a marketing thing to get you to buy another one. But they are also their own little challenge they come forward with. So how many manufacturers pick up that chamber and build rifles in them? How many ammo manufacturers build that ammo? How many brass manufacturers build that for when you want to do your hand loading afterwards? All that sort of stuff is really about the marketplace and how well it's accepted, how well it fills that niche. And really that's got nothing to do with how well it does, it's got how many people buy it. So if lots of people go into it, it really is a marketplace they see there, then you'll tend to find it's going to do really well. I think the whole industry is getting into the swing of this sort of stuff, where they see a new thing and they want to do the same thing. So even though it's Hornady that has developed this thing, then the other guys see they can sell more ammo here. keep in mind there are the people who just buy the rifle for this hunting season and go and buy the ammo to suit and then do the same thing next year anyway. But there's also people who buy their ammo and that's all the ammo they buy because they've got this rifle, they've got their ammo, that's it, it's done. So if you can convince them to buy another rifle, they get another batch of ammo to buy, they get more bits and pieces to buy. So the industry, the sales beget more sales is what I'm sort of saying with that. Not a terribly wonderful thing of our world, but not a terribly bad thing too. In the retail therapy and buying stuff and learning stuff and doing that type of thing. And if you're an off-the-shelf guy where you want to buy it off the shelf, as long as this goes reasonably well, yes, it is going to work well. Overall, these cartridges are designed with simple, sensible, or smart concepts to them. Not groundbreaking by any means. Anything that they claim it's so much better than this, where all of a sudden a 7mm can perform better than a 338 or whatever it is, and where the energies and powers and everything's completely different, but they've got some stats to show you that, well, this is actually better than that. Listen, that's rubbish, largely. Yes, those particular stats might work, but if you bring it into where things should be, it's really pretty simple. Bullet weight, amount of powder, you're going to get more energy out there with more of more, and with the same bullet weight and more powder, you're going to get more speed generally. It's quite simple, to a certain point at least. So there's no actual new amazing technology created out of a cartridge. It still is a cartridge, X amount of powder, and has a projectile in it. Yes, a better bullet with higher BC, more weight and that sort of stuff. You tend to need to push the chamber forward or push the lands forward to make that work. And in something set up for the old style ammo and the old style ammo off the shelf that's all set up to suit, that can be outperformed in small places, in small areas, by that ballistic coefficient. But it's actually not that hard to actually get around that, whether that's looking for the other ammo or into the hand loading side of things. But I suppose all up, it really comes down to what suits you. My thoughts on it is I quite am one of the guys that would tend to go with, I like taking something that has all the right ingredients and needs a bit of tweaking to make it mine and make it work really well. I tend to like that side of things. But there's guys who tend to just want to buy it off the shelf and they want the new one. They want to be able to go to the range and I've got the new one. This is the new one. So there's nothing wrong with that either. Yes, that marketing is about the corporate, but it's also about all the people that work for that corporation. It's all about their wages and their side of things as well. So it is this whole money goes around thing, which makes it work. Doesn't make it all good, doesn't make it all bad. Anyway, that's, I suppose, my take on the thing. And as I started with, really, I've titled this the 7mm PRC because that's the current one right now. But this video actually suits, like I said, insert new cartridge here. It's always the same story. Some ultimately are both bottom line and safe, or the build good rifles and make good profit for everybody, so it all works really well. Some work well, some don't work so well. You're not really going to have that answer until 2 to 3 to 5 years down the track of how it went in the big picture. But like I said, well, it really comes down to what suits you on that score, and that's my little take on it. So guys, thank you very much for checking in. Hope you liked the video, and we'll catch you next time.